So I met up with a good friend of mine last week. I've known him since freshman year in college. Now, neither of us grew up with any money, but when we graduated, we had big dreams. Now, one of my big dreams was to own a BMW 3 Series. Every now and then we would run into each other and he would always ask me, "Hey, Nad, how's that Beamer going?" But it became a running joke because I never bought that Beamer. I didn't buy that BMW because my priorities changed after I graduated. I wanted to have control over my life. So my goal changed from having a BMW 3 Series to being financially independent and possibly retiring early. Now, this was an ambitious goal for me because I was broke at the time, like doing $5 psychology experiments just to eat pizza and soda so I could have something to eat for dinner that night broke. Hi, I'm Nadia, one half of the Wealth Twins. And if I was able to go from broke to financially independent and retiring at the age of 34, then it's also possible for you. This video is meant to be a framework to show you how. So if you find yourself in a similar situation as I was, when you have no one to support you, you're starting from scratch basically, and the money you make from your job is the only money you have because you have no one else to lean on, then I want you to know there is hope for you to go from broke to financially independent and possibly retiring early. This is coming from someone who grew up with a single mom in New York City public housing. The reason is that there are different stages that you will reach along your financial journey that will keep you motivated in order to reach financial independence. First stage you're going to hit is financial stability. I'm going to keep this simple. I define financial stability as being able to pay all your bills on time and have at least 3 to 6 months of savings. If I was going to put a timeline on this, I think you can go from being broke to financially stable within 3 to 6 months if you buckle down. If you have no debt and you just have a little bit of money, you can probably do it quicker. Now, I'm going to say something that I think might be contradictory to a lot of people, but I'm going to ask you not to try to really do it within 3 months. Try to take the 6 months to get there because in the beginning, you're going to make mistakes and there are going to be things that are going to knock you off course. And I don't want those things to stop you in your tracks. If you give yourself closer to the 6-month timeline, then you can make adjustments and keep yourself motivated along the way and really get there. Now, if you really want to do it in 3 months, you can get it, but it will take some hustle on your side. Now, I'm not going to lie to you and say that there are no sacrifices that you have to make. Let's be real. If you're going to try to reach financial stability or even financial independence, there will be changes that you will need to make. But the thing is, the sacrifices you make are your choice. Those sacrifices will come in the form of sacrifices to your comfort, sacrifices to your time, or sacrifices to your spending habits. So my advice is to try to stick to that 3 to 6 month timeline, closer to 2 to 6 months, so that you're able to stick with the plan more. You can choose to cut your expenses, which is budgeting, or you can choose to rein in your discretionary spending. Now, what I mean by discretionary spending is that, let's say you have food at home, but you're always ordering takeout. You need to cut that spending habit if you choose to, and if that helps you bring in extra money and bring you closer to your goal of financial stability. You can also choose to work more hours at your job if they allow you to make overtime. If they don't pay you overtime, then you can possibly look for a part-time job that will work within your schedule. I wasn't able to have a part-time job based on the job I had. I was paid by salary and I worked a lot of hours. So the choices I made to sacrifice was to my discretionary spending and cutting my expenses, keeping my expenses low. Now, at this point, a lot of people will tell you, hey, why don't you get a side hustle? But in my experience, it takes a long time to get a side hustle up and running to the point that it's worthwhile. You're either going to use a lot of time or you're going to use money that you may possibly not have at this point. So low-hanging fruit is to get a second job, a part-time job, if you need to quickly bring you to financial stability. Now, I don't want you to worry about having to make these sacrifices for a long time. The thing is, when you start focusing and committing to this process, things happen a lot faster than you can believe, okay? And soon you'll find yourself adopting habits that actually work for your benefit. And you won't feel like you're making sacrifices anymore. They will feel less like sacrifices as you move forward. And like I said, this doesn't have to be a long period of time. You can do it between 3 and 6 months. If you look at the bigger picture, 3 to 6 months out of your life is not that long. Once you reach financial stability, the next stage will be financial freedom. Now, I know people may think, oh, financial freedom is huge, and maybe financial independence comes before financial freedom. There's a lot of definitions out there, so I'm choosing the one I like to go with, and that is that financial freedom comes before financial independence because you're free to make choices in your life without thinking about money as the main factor when it comes to making that decision. Financial independence is a different story. The way I define financial freedom is that you're able to cover all your expenses, your bills are paid on time, you have little to no debt, and you have emergency savings of at least 12 months, and you are investing. That is my definition of financial freedom. If you want to add to that, you're also able to take vacation or make purchases that you think will make your life more fulfilling without having a major impact on your life. Being financially free means that you're no longer worried about being broke or worrying that if you quit your job and you're out of work for 1 to 2 years, that everything will just stop. You're able to take care of yourself for 1 to 2 years without having to worry about how you're going to eat, where you're going to live. That to me is financial freedom, and I can tell you now, when you reach that point, the level of stress that you have in your life will decrease, and you'll have a lot more freedom to free up your mind space to think about other things other than worrying about money. So I hope defining it this way will allow you to have a more concrete idea of what the number you need in order to hit financial freedom will be, and understand that that number is probably not as big as you actually think. Having a vague definition just makes it seem so far out of reach. But if you think of financial freedom as in terms of being able to cover everything you need to, plus having 12 months of savings, not having to work 1 or 2 years if you decided not to, and have investments at the same time, this allows you to actually come up with a target number that you can actually shoot for. For me, it was being able to hit all those points, not have any debt, and be able to pay for my wedding and my car in cash. And newsflash, I did not get that BMW, I got an Elantra, which worked out better for me. I was also able to go on multiple vacations, buy myself whatever I wanted when I wanted, without it having a major impact on my finances. I also was able to start investing at the same time. Since I didn't grow up with a lot of money, material things really don't fulfill me. I can buy nice things here and there, but they really don't mean much to me. And that's why I never got that BMW, because I really sat back and said, what's important to me? It wasn't having flashy cars or having flashy things to impress other people. It was more about having the control over my time and my life and what I wanted to do with it. That was a bigger priority for me, and that's why I shifted my spending habits and my money management in order to help me reach that goal. Now, maybe you're the exact opposite. You didn't grow up with money either, but you like the flashy cars, you like the flashy clothes, and that means a lot to you. You may not like a frugal lifestyle, but like I said before, because financial freedom is a personal number, you can do whatever you want. It's whatever floats your boat. Just know that the number that you're going to have may be higher than the number of someone who lives a more frugal lifestyle, but you got to be okay with that. Once you reach financial freedom, the next stage you're going to shoot for is financial independence. Now, when it comes to financial independence, passive income plays a major role. And the good thing about passive income is that it doesn't matter what age you start bringing in passive income streams, okay? And my definition of financial independence is this. You have enough passive income coming in on a monthly basis that it covers your whole lifestyle, plus any nice to have things you want, and you do not have to depend on a job to pay you, okay? This is when your investments are making enough passive income to sustain you without having to take a job if you didn't want to. Now, you can have debt when you reach financial independence, but you have to make sure that your passive income covers that debt payment also. One of the things you do when you reach financial independence is that you may leverage yourself. You may leverage yourself by buying real estate and having a mortgage on the homes that you buy. That's okay as long as the money that's being brought in from those properties are covering your monthly expenses. For some people, financial independence means you have no debt. But for others, like I said, you want to use leverage. You can be financially independent by using leverage as long as you're using that in a way that it builds passive income, and whatever you're taking a loan out on is paying you money and is paying out more than you have to pay in expenses. Even if you think financial independence is too far away, as long as you're on this road to trying it and starting from broke to going to financially stable, to going to financially free, you're going to be in a much better place than you started, and you will never worry about being broke again. I promise you that. Just start the process and you will see it will work for you. So if you start this process and you don't reach financial freedom and you're just staying at financial stability, it doesn't matter, you still win. Now, if you're new to this and you want more information on how you can do this, my twin sister and I teach people how to make passive income in the stock market, and we also teach people how to manage your money. 3 books I would recommend if you're starting on this journey and you want a lot more information. You can look at Your Money or Your Life, Money Master the Game, and Early Retirement Extreme. Those books will work on your mindset and really get you moving in the right direction. I hope you found value in this video, and please subscribe to the channel because we would love to have you as part of our community. And don't forget to check the description below on how to join our free newsletter called the Wealth Pact. We call it the Wealth Pact because just like any other pact, we don't leave anyone behind. We teach you tips that we don't share on YouTube, and it's free. So check it out and join us.